morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let me cut the intro. All right, we got the intro cut. Did my little impromptu sound check over here. Good morning, Dawn. Good morning, Dawn. Beast, what's good? What's going on, Beast? Zedric, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Miss Brown. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Also, got a really, really, really good show today, y'all. We got something special today. Man, I'm seeing a spider out the side of my left eye. Y'all, let me kill this spider real quick. This spider tripping. Let me hit the intro. I'll be right back, y'all. I'm discombobulated over here, y'all. Discombobulated. Appreciate that, Beast. Let me go back. So I had to kill this spider. I muted myself for a second. I did not unhit mute. So let's do this again. I needed that smoky silk voice of yours. I appreciate that, Dawn. Good morning, Keith. Good morning, C. Brown Run. Thank y'all for letting me know about the no sound. Your boy is tripping a little bit, but we going to get this thing right. We going to get it right. The spider threw me off, but we got a really, really, really good show today. And we going to get this thing right. We going to get it right. DG's body language in that press conference Wednesday did not give the belief that he will hold his end of the bargain on Sunday. Zedric, you on to something. Zedric, you are on to something. All right, we back. There we go. There we go. Y'all know I'm paranoid about recording whole streams without my sound on too. So luckily I have my phone in front of me. So my phone, I'm looking at it. I'm seeing myself, but I couldn't hear it. So appreciate y'all for shouting that out. It was a lot of stuff going on this week. And we definitely gonna get to it. We gonna get to Leroy Hoard. Leroy Hoard probably had the worst take at this point on Shedeur Sanders. Probably the worst take I've heard on Shedeur, because most of it is from the land of make-believe. So we're going to break down Leroy Hoard's points, and we're going to break them down point by point by point. Right, Shedeur is back at practice. He was a full participant, so that was a plus. Normally, when it's people who say stuff about Shedeur, we can just dismiss it, but somebody like Leroy Hoard, who played in the NFL, he played for the Cleveland Browns, he played for the Minnesota Vikings. When they come out and say these things, we got to kill a gnat with a sledgehammer, because what he is doing is he is being the mouthpiece for people who have been spreading lies when it comes to Shedeur. So we got to eliminate all of it. I didn't plan on doing a film room today. I'm going to show you all the film. Where, good morning, Marie. I saw you in there, but I didn't. Good morning, Marie. That spider threw me off a little bit. But I'm going to show y'all the film to see if what he says about Shedeur's footwork is true or not. I'm going to, when he got to Dillon Gabriel and G. Bush asked him a question, we're going to get to what the coaches have said about Dillon Gabriel, because he kind of didn't really want to talk about Dillon Gabriel, which I thought was weird. And we're really going to break this thing down. So we're going to get to it later on with the Leroy Hoard clip. Hopefully the sound is back good now. Is Andrew Berry becoming president of the Browns? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the Browns are doing. I'm going to talk about Paul DePodesta slightly, but it means nothing to me because we don't even know what he was doing. His title was Chief Strategy Officer. I've heard people say he was in marketing. I've heard people say he was doing to hire Kevin Stefanski. I've heard people say he had input on the draft. There's nothing concrete about what he did. So it's going to be a lot of noise about that. But me, if I can't critique something I can quantify, I can't really give it too much time. That was out of left field by far. If you repeatedly say, I have no firsthand knowledge, why should we take you seriously onto something? He tried to say Shedeur footwork is bad. And the worst thing he did was he said it and he act like we couldn't go back and look at the tape. That's the worst part. How you agreeing with something, we got the tape there, or saying something, we got the tape there. And Jason was right there agreeing with him like a dummy. You caught that? That's what I've been telling people. I've been telling everybody that, and they've been looking at me like I'm crazy. So I agree, Leroy's capping all lies. Marie, definitely all lies. John the Liquidator mentioned that this morning. Yep. And it's one of those situations where what they want to do is they want to give people a name who root for Shedeur. But when people who root for Shedeur call out the lies, they just act like the lies just didn't happen. Or they act like people wasn't going on saying that. I expected nothing less from Jason. I totally agree. Jason is who he is. Jason is a microphone. He's not really a person that has an opinion. So people that are microphones, they just make somebody else's views more heard, and they spread somebody else's views. They don't spread their own. So we got a really good show. Really good show. Small open. I got to do something first. So as I'm putting stuff together, let me cut this sound in my background now. It's going to throw me off a little bit. As I'm putting together stuff for this morning, I'm getting ready. I'm getting all my clips I'm going to use. I'm getting all my stuff I need from YouTube. And I didn't log into YouTube Studio because I didn't need to be there yet. When it was time for me to log into YouTube Studio, I got to show y'all what I actually saw. So let's get this thumbnail down just in case. Let's put this up here. All right, so this is going to take up the whole screen. It reads, you are now a YouTube partner. I'm going to say that again. You are now a YouTube partner. I hit some thresholds to be accepted into the partner program. I applied right away. Just waiting to hear back from YouTube. YouTube, this is how they greeted me today when I logged into the YouTube Studio, the back end of YouTube. This is what I saw. So I get a different level of support from YouTube. Monetized videos, all of my stuff will be monetized. Also, at some point, the super chats will be available. I'm not sure if that'll be available today because I saw this 20 minutes ago. Like 20 minutes ago when I'm doing my last thing. So without y'all, I would not be in the program. I would not be moving this thing up to the next level without y'all support, without y'all being here every week. So I deeply appreciate you all for believing in me and tapping in and watching me and just being here and supporting me. So thank you to all of you all. Thank you to y'all. And I also decided that I wanted to, the people who are showing me support, I wanted to highlight them at least once a month and just recognize them for the support they've given me. So I was putting stuff together. I wanted to be super elaborate and all these things. And you know, sometimes when you're too creative, you don't get anywhere. So it's almost like a writer about to write a book. I had writer's block. So I was like, you know what? I got to show my people support. It's been a month. They really have taken their support of me to the next level. And I just wanted to shine a light on the people who have been supporting me. So here we go. I made something a little quick for y'all. Van, what's going on? These are the top supporters who've really supported me for the month of October. And this is something that I want to do because I know that I feed off the energy y'all give me. I feed off support y'all offer me. I feed off y'all comments. And I just want to make sure that I take the time to recognize the people who are supporting me and helping me get to this next level. So we're just going to call out some people here. Shanithia. I haven't seen her in the chat yet, but shout out to Shanithia. Marie is already here. Shout out to Marie. Misty Johnson usually taps in on other live streams. She's not here, but shout out to Misty. Zedric is here, as always. Shout out to Zedric. I haven't seen Charmaine yet, but at some point she'll be tapping in. Shout out to Charmaine. Dawn was here, bright and early. Shout out to Dawn. Also, shout out to Natalie. I haven't seen Natalie in the chat, but shout out to Natalie. So I just wanted to highlight some people because there are some people who, come on, Beast, you know you my guy. You know you've been here with me from the beginning. You already know that, Beast. You know that. These are some people who have backed me financially with their support, and I wanted to highlight them. They are helping us take this to another level. So I've upgraded my light in the studio. So if y'all notice, when I'm changing the light, I'm just clicking the button. So they are helping me upgrade the studio. Also, I have a new, I can't really show, I probably can show it to y'all. Let me see. I've upgraded my mic arm. So this is a Elgato mic arm. I really like Elgato products. So they're helping me be more efficient as I bring y'all this content. So just wanted to show them, their just due and just make sure I say thank you to everybody who has been here. And we got Van back in the building. We got Clyde here. What's going on, Clyde? The Bible, his sheep hears his voice. Your voice is honorable. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Miss Brown, you know Jason always acted like he didn't like Shedeur. Congratulations, you deserve everything you got. Miss Brown, I appreciate you. Thank you. When you gonna do super chat? So I just saw it today. So I've been waiting to hear back from them. It's been a couple weeks now. So as soon as the stream ends today, I'm gonna make sure it's set. I gotta enter some additional information on my end. I just didn't have time to do it, or I had to push the stream time back. I didn't want to be late. So I'll knock that out today as soon as my stream ends, and then hopefully we'll be set for Sunday. So hopefully for Sunday moving forward, we'll be set. You'll get it going for sure once the super chat open up. I think so too. And I think it's just another way for people to be able to be heard and be a part of the show. So I'm definitely looking forward to people being heard, people guaranteeing that they're being heard. So just wanted to show my support for y'all, man. Y'all know, man, I appreciate y'all. I'm not the person who is not going to let people know how I feel about them, especially when they are showing me support. So I appreciate y'all. Let's get it going. Let's get to this show. We got a great show. This is the inspiration for the show. Now we're going to get some other points, and this is going to be the main topic. We're going to really break this down thoroughly later, but this is the main topic for the show. This is going to be it right here. He's speaking some gargly goop, but let's listen to the gargly goop.
Excitement you felt in that one preseason game, you overlooked a few aspects of what he was doing, right? He never dropped back, planted his foot, and threw the football, which was one of the differences between him and Cam Ward, right? And being down here with Cam Ward, I saw that dude put his foot on the ground, a 3 or 5 step drop, get rid of the ball, throw it with time.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Now, I always try to catch myself when I speak in absolutes about things that I don't control. I heard him say that. I didn't watch this live, but I heard him say it when I was watching it later. I went back. I listened to it about 5 times in a row to make sure I wasn't imagining that he said he never dropped back, planted his foot, and threw the football. I heard that and I was like, I got to be tripping. Maybe I'm tripping. So later on that day, I watched all 27 dropbacks by Shedeur. And I was like, what is Leroy talking about? I didn't even go to the rest of it. So I saw this and I said, you know what? We can't let this slide. We can't let it slide. And sometimes I will say things about or respond to what people get up here and say, and it's just worth saying it. But for him, it was so egregious. I have to show y'all and break it down for y'all point by point why he's wrong. It was hard to watch. This guy is terrible. Takes are terrible. I believe when you have ex-athletes and they try to go into the lane of reporter or headline grabber, they fail miserably. If we're saying, good morning, Maurice. If he is breaking down a story from when he played in football, if he is breaking down what a running back's supposed to do on the play, I can listen to you. As soon as they try to expand, they sound crazy. And what he said was crazy, and we're going to get to it. Yeah, G. Bush was looking like, what is he talking about? So if you notice, then G. Bush went to, well, let's talk about Dillon Gabriel. But then what did he do? He didn't want to talk about Dillon Gabriel. And then he said, well, we don't know if the coaches are saying that Dillon Gabriel is not having a success, but he's doing what they expect of him. So we don't know. So sometimes success doesn't show in actually you doing what you're supposed to do on the field. I was like, what?
Stop it. Get some help.
Big Snack showed this guy was lying the same day. He showed the tape and went off. Yeah, I saw some of what Big Snack said. And this is one of those things where I think everybody who supports Shedeur needs to make sure that we show and prove how wrong this is. Because what they want to do is they want to say, that's a conspiracy theory that people are doing and saying these things about Shedeur. If y'all notice, they always say that. But then when you prove when you're proven right, they never come back and say it wasn't a conspiracy theory. You were right about what you said about that person. So that's why we are killing a gnat with the sledgehammer when we go at what he's talking about. That's how you know someone got in his ear to push that narrative. Come on now. If you notice, there is a default setting with everybody who's ever had a part in the NFL. There's a default setting. These are the default things that they say that have been repeatedly proven wrong over the years. A team, a coach, a GM would never pass on a player if he can help their team. The lie detector test determined that's a lie. You want to know why? We can go back to Colin Kaepernick and his situation when he still should have been playing. We can look at Cam Newton towards the end of his career when he should have still been playing. We can look at quarterback needy teams. Look at the teams who wanted to trade for Deshaun Watson. Look at the teams who wanted to trade look at no teams made an offer for Lamar Jackson when he was available. Lamar Jackson couldn't help the Atlanta Falcons when they spent all that money on Kirk Cousins. What are we doing? The Miami Dolphins couldn't use the Lamar Jackson. So they got to stop saying they'll do whatever is best. We know that's not the case. And we know they are willing to collude. Why did they have to pay off Colin Kaepernick? Why is John Gruden still in court with them? Somebody tell me. Why did the NFLPA have to implode and blow itself up and its highest levels of leadership have to step down and leave the NFLPA? Because they were colluding against the players. So when these guys go to that company man script, I'm like, what did the NFL do? I've never heard nobody stick on code like this if it wasn't the Army or if it wasn't the police. Nobody in anywhere else sticks on code the way they stick on code to protect people in the NFL. Nobody does. It's insane. Verbal gymnastics. Totally agree. It should be illegal. Misinformation. I agree. Exactly. Probably his boy Jason. That's his boy. Sounds like he has a hole on each side of his neck. His word salad is spilling out of each side. It's falling all over the place. Falling all over the place. All over his shirt. It's just insane. It's insane. So we're gonna rip that to shreds. What they were talking about with that. We're gonna get to that later. We're gonna get to it because we're gonna give it the full amount of time to break it down. So the next time Leroy shows up on UCSS, nobody even listens to what he's saying. Nobody does. Let's keep this thing rolling forward.
George is a better boxer than George, and I'm better now than I was when you saw that 22-year-old undeveloped kid running from Sunday Lister. I'm experienced now, professional. Jaw's been broke, been lost, knocked down a couple of times. Bad. Been chopping trees. I done something new for this fight. I done wrestled with an alligator. That's right. I have wrestled with an alligator. I done tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail. That's bad. Only last week, I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean, I make medicine sick.
Man, dude.
Bad. Fast. Last night, I cut the light off in my bedroom, hit the switch, was in the bed before the room was dark.
Incredible.
Fast.
Incredible.
And you, George Foreman, all of you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him. All of you. I know you got him. I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Leroy, I'm gonna show you how great I am when I get finished breaking down that hogwash that you were spewing the other day. That's what I got to do. I had to go Muhammad Ali on him, y'all. I had to. Let's keep it moving forward.
For you as a defensive player is who?
The play.
So the other day, I showed y'all Cleveland media was saying the play caller is not important. We got some people that feel otherwise, so let's go.
Chad?
Yes, sir.
Most important person on offense for you as a defensive player is who?
The play caller.
The play caller.
Yes,
the
sir.
play call. And there it is right there. There are the plays. And who is this, Chad?
That is.
This is Bill Belichick. He's known as one of the greatest coaches of all times. He is showing you how important the play caller was. So anytime these people get on Cleveland radio and say, I don't understand what all the fans talking about the play caller, I don't understand why it matters, they are extremely important to the success of the offense. So who we going to listen to? We're going to listen to the guy on the radio who is half of the time trolling, half of the time trying to get people riled up and is not taking it seriously to learn the game, or we're going to take it from one of the greatest coaches of all time. I'm just going to ask the questions. Y'all let me know whose side are you taking on this, because I'm going to take the side of one of the greatest coaches of all time. That's what we're going to do. We don't need to get much. Actually, you know what? Beats had a question about scheme. So it's something in here that they're going to talk about scheme, and I want to show you. So let's do this before I leave. Here we go. Let me get to it. It's going to be here. This is the Gary Kubiak scheme they're going to talk about.
All right, this is Elway, this is Terrell Davis, and this is their famous play, the stretch play. Here the ball's tossed, but the idea is to get the ball to the outside of the defense, to get the defense to run, and if they don't get there, then take it, and if they over pursue, then to cut it back. But this play was really, and this blocking scheme was really made famous by Mike Shanahan, his offensive line coach, Alex Gibbs. The other plays that go with this are the.
So, Beast, when you were asking about scheme the other day, this is another way to explain scheme. This is it started with Kyle Shanahan. He still uses it. That was the father. His son Kyle still uses it. Also, Gary Kubiak was working under the Shanahans. He uses it. This is the offense. If you want to see this offense in action, look at the Seattle Seahawks offense. One of the top offenses in the league. Sam Darnold is playing some of the best ball of his life. They run the Kubiak system. You know who the offensive coordinator is? Clint Kubiak. That is Gary Kubiak's son. That is the play caller. He also could have been a Browns offensive coordinator. Kevin Stefanski passed on him so he could elevate Tommy Rees. We're going to see how Tommy Rees is going to do, because now we got to compare him to the person who was also in line for the job. We just got to see. So it's a lot of things you could do off of that stretch play. But I just wanted to show you that because I do remember your question from the other day, Beast. Let's keep it going.
Ken Rosenthal is reporting that Paul DePodesta is leaving the Cleveland Browns to be the Colorado Rockies head of baseball operations, which basically means he's going to be the de facto GM because none of those titles mean anything in baseball anymore.
So this is what the Cleveland media was so infatuated with yesterday, Paul DePodesta leaving. I kind of spoke on this a little bit earlier. This means nothing to me. We don't even know what his job was. We don't know what he was doing. We don't have anything quantifiable that we could pin and say he did this good or he did this bad. So with that being said, that's all the time we're going to spend on Paul DePodesta. DePodesta has been the boogeyman that they've blamed everything on that's went bad with the Cleveland Browns. Now he's out. They got to find another boogeyman to blame instead of just blaming the people who are not performing. These things happen and people get distracted instead of talking about what's going on. We got real football to be played on Sunday. We got the Jets coach saying, I know what Kevin Stefanski wants to do with his young quarterback. We are very familiar with the young quarterback in Dillon Gabriel. People should be speaking about this. They are not. We're going to speak about it. That's all I got for DePodesta because it's not worth more time than that. We're going to keep it moving. Now, good old Tony. Good old Tony. The beautiful thing about the internet is when you make videos and you put them on the internet, unless you scrub them from the internet before someone else is able to get them and save them, people can pull those up and show you the receipts. And I'm one of those people that just so happens to keep the receipts as long as CVS. So I got to show y'all Tony Grossi now, and then we got to throw it back 5 months to how Tony Grossi was talking. And I just want to know if y'all noticed the difference. I just want to know because I did. Let's go, Tony. What you got to say now about your boy Dillon? Let's see what you got to say.
That's what I want to start with was Dillon Gabriel, Tony, because like we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but then I went back and listened to all these interviews from yesterday, and I was like, wow, Grossi was on a warpath through these interviews asking everybody about why can't Dillon Gabriel throw to wide receivers. Tony, it's a problem.
Yeah, and particularly that game. Remember, it was the offensive line's gotten a lot better in the last couple weeks.
Cam Robinson has stabilized the left tackle position.
And Conklin's been on the field. So the pass pro, I thought, was really good. So, yeah, I could excuse any quarterback if he's under siege. And Gabriel was not in that game. Now, Vrabel just loaded the box to stop the run and just invited Gabriel to throw. And just to target 9 passes to receivers, wide receivers, is just incredible to me. And so I continued that line of questioning with Tommy Rees today.
What did he say?
How do you get him,
That's enough, Tony. That's enough, Tony. We got to throw it back, y'all. Now, based on PFF and what they said about Dillon Gabriel coming into the year, should anybody be surprised at what we're seeing from Dillon Gabriel? Are y'all surprised at what y'all are seeing from Dillon Gabriel? I'm not. But let's see. Good morning, Shanithia. Shanithia, I'm going to hit this topic and then I got some updated information for you. I'm not surprised about Dillon Gabriel, but let's see how Tony was talking about your boy. Dillon Gabriel, 5 months ago. What you say now, Tony?
Yeah, because everybody's going to ask. And I think it's fair for us to talk about this. Kevin Stefanski said they're competing. So if they're competing, that means someone wins and someone loses. Who won day one?
Well, I think if you took the names away from their jerseys and just looked at number 5 and looked at number 12, you'd say, oh, that's why they drafted number 5 before number 12. I mean, he just throws the ball better, at least today. This is a practice. It's a first practice.
Yeah.
And it's not a narrative I'm trying to set. It's my
For sure.
observation.
Not a
A
narrative.
lot of spin on the ball, tremendously accurate. I mean, not only completions, but right on the hands, decisive in his footwork. He just seemed to me like he knew what he wanted to do with the ball every time he took a snap. Now, Shedeur was not inaccurate. Don't get me wrong. He could layer the ball into the secondary, but he was very accurate the way he does it. Now, the way he does it is just like his pro day workout. There's not a lot of spin on the ball. There's some fluttering, the sideline outs and
that you want
Tony.
you could do so you want
Tony. Now, we've been watching Dillon Gabriel play. I'm not seeing this accuracy. I'm not seeing this decisiveness. I'm not seeing any athleticism. So I got to ask the question. Were you actually seeing that? Or is that what you wanted to see so you could use that against Shedeur? Hey, I just got to be the one to ask the questions, y'all. I'm going to be the one. I'm going to say, let's ask the questions. Which one is it, Tony? Which one is it, Tony? Hey, I'm just trying to figure this thing out. Somebody help me, y'all. Somebody help me. Somebody help me. He called his own self out. I'm not trying to say a narrative of lies. Talk to me, Marie. You seeing it. You seeing it. All you got to do is listen. They tell us. It makes no sense. I take answer B. There you go, Shanithia. You see it. This is the beautiful thing about the internet. And I think for some reason, the Cleveland media, the national media, sometimes they forget they say so much that they just get out here and talk like we don't have this evidence. Tony, I'm going to need you to do better, my brother. Do better. I need you to do better. Shanithia, I'm not sure if you started from the beginning or if you jumped right in live, but just some quick updates that I just want to hit you with real quick, Shanithia. The first one is your boy got accepted. I'm now in the partner program. So you're one of the people who've been here. You've been subscribed, I think, since like August. So you've been here a long time. So definitely shout out to you and thank you for being here. Also, just made a little video to shine some light on top supporters, and you are one of those. So definitely want to do that. Just want to let you know I appreciate all your support. I appreciate you for showing up, and I appreciate everything you've done to help me in this. So I appreciate you. So thank you, Shanithia. Now, I recall Tony Grossi being the first one to say, I'm not being a cheerleader for this one and, starting a narrative for this one. I'm not this person's PR. I'm this. I'm just calling it how I see it. He's like, oh, I'm just calling it how I see it. Well, how do you see it now? Because everything you told us Dillon Gabriel was, he never was, and he's never put it on film. The only time he's supposedly been better than Shedeur is before the Browns start releasing videos showing that Shedeur was better. Before you actually start doing the stat tracker. So, Tony, what is it, man? What's your beef with Shedeur? Why everybody got beef with Shedeur? I just want to know. Zedric, you're right. This was around the time those clips of Shedeur looking better, Tony saying he didn't look better. This is also when he said Dillon Gabriel looked better and never said Dillon Gabriel threw interceptions. Only for the Cleveland Browns to put out clips showing Dillon Gabriel throwing interceptions because they wanted to highlight somebody on the defense. They wanted to highlight Carson Schlesinger. He never brought up the interception. That's when he was sitting in his chair. He had his head down. He was talking about how exhausting everything was. It's not exhausting when you just call it how you really see it. He even told you he had a narrative. So there you go, Tony. That's enough of Tony. We have fun with Tony. Tony, you got to do better, my friend. Do better. Let's get to Dillon Gabriel, because for some reason, everybody focuses on Shedeur as if Dillon Gabriel is not the starting quarterback and is not going to be the starter this weekend. But you know who is focused on Dillon Gabriel? The Jets coach, Aaron Glenn. Let's listen to his press conference. What you got to say, Aaron?
He's trying to do a good job of making sure that he brings this quarterback along slowly. They're leaning on the run game, and they're obviously giving him a chance to get the ball out quick. Now, we know a lot about this player, the quarterback Gabriel. I mean, he's been a captain every place he's been when it comes to college. And he's done a good job for those guys. And listen, I understand exactly what he's going through, trying to get his team offensively to be on the right track, somewhat similar to us. And I know this coach is going to work his ass off to make sure he get it there. So we're looking forward to the competition. This is a game that that's our total focus that we're on this game. And for the most part, the guys are upbeat, ready to go, just like they've always been each week. And we're looking forward to playing this team. So we look for getting the win. So any questions?
So you have a head coach said his guys are ready. They traded off 2 good players. And on the defense, one being Quentin Williams, the other being Sauce Gardner. They're looking towards the future. People in Cleveland seem to believe that's automatic wins for the Browns. And the way I view it is there are no automatic wins in the NFL. You have to show up on Sunday and perform. And this other team, based on Aaron Glenn's leadership, coming off of a big win against Cincinnati, the coach sounds focused. They don't sound like they have all these distractions that the Cleveland Browns have. And they're focused on Dillon Gabriel. Before this, he gave props to Myles Garrett. He gave props to Denzel Ward, who are having great years. So you got to play the football. You can't hide the starting quarterback. Other teams are getting more and more film on him. Other teams are seeing he don't want to throw it right. He don't want to roll right, and he don't want to throw it deep. They're seeing this. Recollect, RG3 lost his job because he refused to degrade Shedeur and Dion. Thus, he spoke unenthusiastic about the non-melanated college QBs. It is a very weird spot to be in when people get ridiculed for calling what they see, because I'm on the other end of it. I want people to tell me what you see. Tell me what you see. If you're talking about a quarterback, tell me what you see. If you are rating quarterbacks, tell me what you see. I don't like when people just go, and if you look up, I'll give you an example. The Cleveland Browns this week and Cleveland Browns content yesterday, every person or every group that does anything on YouTube regarding the Cleveland Browns, they all talk about Paul DePodesta. Y'all see how much time I spent on DePodesta. That doesn't matter. The football is what matters. So they get distracted by these things. I saw people cheering that he's not with the team anymore. They can't even tell you what he does. You don't know if this dude was part of marketing, if he was the one who told the Browns to make these napkins this color and put an orange and brown helmet on it. You don't know none of that. So to be celebrating as if that matters, it means nothing. You got to focus on the main thing. The main thing is the game. The Jets are focused on the main thing. People in Cleveland are writing this Jets team off like it's a win, when if the Jets get to 17 points, they win the game. So we're not going to look past it. We're going to make sure we maintain and view it from a football lens. We always going to do that. Let's keep it going. Sounds like the Jets have DG's number and plan on making him making Hawaiian soup out of him. It's not that hard. Remember, the Jets is coming off a bye week too. Oh man, Cleveland Browns are going through offensive play caller change. They're trying to find a spark. They're sputtering along. And the Jets are like, hey, we made some trades, but we're still focused on the next game. We're not worried about the distractions. So, hey, DG, keep going out there. Keep going out there, man. I told y'all, it's 2 weeks for DG. It's 2 weeks. It'll be a disaster if he doesn't win this weekend. But when Baltimore Ravens come to Cleveland, and if DG is still the starter, that is when it's going to be real. Because divisional opponents want to embarrass you. I'm going to keep saying this. If you look at some of these teams, how they play versus the Browns, look at the Steelers game, they wanted to embarrass them. Baltimore, embarrassment. these teams want to embarrass you. So they're not going to just play vanilla defense. They're not going to do what New England did. New England just dropped back and played straight up defense. They weren't trying to confuse him or nothing. If he makes it to Baltimore, Baltimore is going to disguise, they're going to scheme, they're going to blitz, they're going to do all those things. So Justin looked like he turned a corner and got another weapon. Yep, they got the receiver from the Colts in that trade for Sauce Gardner. I don't want to say it's simple, but the basis of it is simple, where you look at the player's strengths and you play to their strengths. Don't have them out here doing stuff that they're not comfortable with. For some reason, it's taking them a long time to get comfortable with doing things that Justin Fields feel comfortable with. But I don't see why these people don't look at his Ohio State tape and just basically install that offense from the summer if this is going to be our quarterback moving forward, just to make them feel comfortable. So we don't know what the Jets is doing. This is somebody who is still trying to argue for Kevin Stefanski. At this point, Kevin Stefanski has no supporters but the guy here on the left side of the screen, Blake. This is him arguing for Kevin Stefanski.
But if we can take somebody to spruce it up, like you said, and then maybe we're still not great, but we're not historically bad anymore, is kind of like what I'm looking for. Can we take the jump from historically bad to, well, they're definitely still not the strength of the team, but maybe the defense can keep us in games and we can score 20 points once.
So don't strive for greatness. Don't strive to be great. Strive to not be historically bad. Man, oh man. If you were a coach of a little league football team, would you ever tell them the bar is to strive to not be historically bad? Would you ever say that? What receiver did they get from the Ravens? My bad if I said Ravens. They got him from the Colts. They got AD. He's a speedy, shifty receiver. The Jets got him from the Colts. My bad if I said the Ravens.
It's kind of like, can we take that leap? And then what do you think? I've heard people say, if the offense looks great now or better, Kevin's worthless. And if it looks the same, Kevin's still worthless. He's like in a lose-lose situation here. What are your thoughts in terms of, like, if the offense does look better, what does it say about Kevin and all that kind of stuff?
Well, before I answer that, I want to remind everybody, I went back and we talked about this the other day, but I looked at the stats. Last year when Kevin handed play calling over.
Let me hit y'all comments real quick. He has salad holes too. Facts. He's salad all over the place. And Lamar Jackson back. Yes, Lamar Jackson is back. And they trying to win. They're playing to win. They're not playing to lose. When I tell y'all the bar is low in Cleveland, I sound crazy just by having a standard. These guys just, if I didn't show y'all this video, if I just told y'all, he said the bar is to not be historically bad, y'all would say I'm lying. Y'all wouldn't believe me if I told y'all that. Y'all would say you got to be making this up. So sometimes I got to show y'all that these are actually people who are saying this with a decent sized following. You know what I'm saying? Almost 15K. Almost 15K on YouTube. So they getting some people watching them. And this is the bar. So it was a double entendre when I said all Shedeur has to do is step over the curb because it's that low. One could be talking about somebody's height. The other one could be talking about how he just has an inability to perform well, and he set the bar so low. So y'all would think I was crazy if I didn't play these things for y'all.
Over to Ken Dorsey. So there were 7 games with Kevin calling the plays, and then the rest of the season, Ken Dorsey called the plays. Almost nothing changed. Okay. We had the same amount of, well, actually, we went down in points per game scored a little bit. It was like 15-14, which we sucked last year. The only thing that ended up going up were I think it was the total yards per game, but that's only because Ken Dorsey got Jameis Winston. He had those games. He had the 504-yard output out in Denver and all that kind of stuff. None of that happened when Kevin was calling the plays. But other than that, like, I forget what the other stat was, but I know it was points per game and all that stuff. Like, nothing changed. It stayed. This was the record. Record was basically exactly the same. We lost just the same amount of games. Nothing changed. So if we make this switch now again for the second year in a row, and this time it's different, and Tommy Rees takes over play calling, and all of a sudden the offense, I'm talking like noticeably different. Like it feels like we're watching a different team than we watched the first half of the season. For me, that would be kind of an indictment on Kevin that one guy can step in here and make that big of a difference to the offense that you are the one that, like, you're the offensive guy. This is your system. This is your program. You brought it in here. You're supposed to be the offensive head coach, which, by the way, how do you feel about him having to give it up 2 years in a row? Because off the top of my head, and maybe the chat can help us out, I can't think of another offensive head coach who's had to give up play calling 2 years in a row.
It doesn't matter to me. Like,
he got no expectations. Tommy gets the offense out the mud. Why didn't you do this sooner? Dillon looks better. How come you couldn't get this out of him? That's not even factoring Shedeur. Thank you. Thank you. You don't get credit for being forced into make a change because you can't do things better. You get credit for, before the season, making Tommy Rees the play caller, letting him create and establish the offense. You don't get credit because you were so bad, historically bad, that you gave it to somebody else. We're not giving you props for that over here. Dillon Gabriel, now they starting to say we don't know if Dillon Gabriel is really Stefanski's guy. They trying it, but we're not going to fall for that. The entire offseason program into now, Dillon Gabriel has been treated like a first-round draft pick. If Kevin Stefanski couldn't get anything out of him, they'd be giving him all the reps and design. Supposedly, Dillon Gabriel is the one who was helping install the offense. Y'all remember that? I mean, I told y'all on the spot that was a lie when Mary Kay said it, but whatever. Kevin Stefanski is done. He's done here. Don't try to turn things around to find the positives when he's made misstep after misstep after misstep. So people say, oh, if Jackson Dart is good, that's a misstep on Kevin Stefanski. I agree, because he thought Dillon Gabriel was the second best quarterback in his draft based on their actions. If Tommy Rees doesn't perform as a play caller the same way Clint Kubiak performs in Seattle, when Clint Kubiak interviewed for the OC job in Cleveland before Tommy Rees did, his thing was he wanted to call plays. So if Tommy Rees doesn't do as well as Clint Kubiak is doing in Seattle, that's against Kevin Stefanski. Dillon Gabriel is Dillon Gabriel, that's against Kevin Stefanski. Shedeur is Shedeur, that's against Kevin Stefanski. How many things can we have against this guy before we just say, you know what? We don't have to really go into the minutia so much. We just know that he's wrong. We just accept it and keep it moving. Trying to blame Barry for it too. Facts. That's why early on I just said, look, I'm over all of them. So I'm not, because they're trying to pick one who they want to blame. One gets less blame. Man, all of them can go. All of them. Listen to what he's about to say here, then we're going to get up this.
It matters.
Let me speed this up. Man. I'm struggling through this right here, y'all. I'm sorry. Maybe this is, maybe I got ADD or something. I don't know. I can't get through this slow. Let's go.
It just, to me, it's if Tommy comes in and then the offense is noticeably different, good job on Kevin for recognizing that Tommy was ready to call plays and not being too proud and being like, okay, go ahead. And now we're better. Like, he could just go down with a sinking ship. You know, he could be like, nope, I'm the play.
So you had to wait till you're almost mathematically out of the playoffs to realize what you're doing wasn't working?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
They make no sense, y'all. They make no sense. This is from this morning. This is some of what we were just talking about, trying to decide who to blame. Do you blame this guy? You blame this guy. Let's go.
And let me give you the reasoning why. It's not just to disagree with you because of it's a radio show. Kevin has made this move to me about Tommy Rees to keep the. I think the team's on the verge of just calling it a day on Kevin. I think you could keep Andrew Berry and install someone else out there. None of these are great decisions, guys. I get it. You can install Andrew Berry as your general manager, keep him as your general manager, a team president, and install a new coach and maybe install a new hope. Because I think that he's made this decision with Tommy Rees because I think the defense is about as fit to be tied as possible, and he has to keep his entire team around. I think it's a responsible decision to make this change. I do, by Kevin. I think it's responsible. And if it wasn't his choice, then I guess I'm going to have to change some thoughts here, but I'm going to go with this. I think that he's trying to be responsible to his team, but I think that team's just about had enough. And I think it's easier with this group to replace the head coach because I think that you still have talent on that defense, and they might not want to give up on those guys. And so I don't know what you're going to do at the wide receiver spot. Not good at picking wide receivers. We're not too terribly good at picking offensive linemen. We're not too terribly good at drafting in the first place.
So y'all hear this? So he's trying to pick, do we keep Kevin? Do we get rid of Kevin? Do we keep AB? So as soon as you make a defense for Kevin Stefanski, you got to knock AB on all his shortcomings. But then when you really go through it, you got to knock both of them. All we got to do is go based on performance and not get caught up in all this extra stuff. Both of them just got to go. Good job on Kevin. Yeah, you heard that. It looks like Barry had made moves that support Shedeur, so I'm okay with him staying, but Stefanski got to go. Plus, Barry did have a good draft this year. The head coach is cancerous to the team. Can't disagree enough with, can't agree with you enough. What happened was they were on the same page. They were tied at the hip, attached to the hip with everything. Then when the seat get hot, I can't defend you before I defend me. So if I got to do some things to separate us and show, hey, this is where the line is, that's what I got to do to stay. And I think that's what Barry did, which any smart person would do in his situation. You would look at it and say, hey, look at my draft class performing. He had to, even when I give him pieces, he got the worst offense last year. He got all these losing seasons piling up. When it come down to it, if y'all said you got to pick one, if y'all didn't give me a choice and you said, look, the only question is you keep Kevin or keep Andrew Barry, I'm with Marie. Kevin got to go. Kevin got to go. I don't see Kevin as a leader of men. I don't see him as a motivator. I don't see him lighting the fire under guys, getting them motivated. So Kevin got to go. Now, if I had to pick, that's what I would do. Between the two. But if I had the option, I would just get rid of both of them. But if I had to pick one, Kevin got to go. It's not even close. He has to go. If you just look at his interactions in the locker room, you look at nobody coming out to his defense. The same thing Leroy is going to say, well, we don't hear anybody talking about, Shedeur need to play or dropping nuggets to the media, which that was incorrect also. You don't hear anybody defending Stefanski. Where are all the people who, when Kevin Stefanski was in Minnesota, defending him right now? Where are those people? Where are those people saying, hey, Kevin Stefanski's a great guy? We ain't seeing it. Barry says we have to keep Kevin away from Shedeur at least until the end of the season when we clean house. I think AB disagreed with DG third round. It's all starting to wash up on the shore now. We are clearly seeing this was you get a quarterback, I get a quarterback. Kevin Stefanski was saying, oh, I want DG? All right, we're going to give you DG, but don't think I'm not getting mine. And I got Shedeur. And it's going to be what it is. Brent, what's going on? Thank goodness DePodesta is going. Hey, we going to see what DePodesta do. We going to see if it makes a difference. I want everybody going. Y'all know how I feel about this. What's going on, Asante? What's going on, Brent? The first domino has already dropped, Asante. Kevin Stefanski not calling plays. Tommy Reese is calling plays. So I know that earlier in the season, people recognized who Kevin Stefanski was, and they said, you know what? We don't want Shedeur playing under Kevin Stefanski. We don't believe in him. That domino is dropped. Now you got Tommy Reese. Tommy Reese wants to make sure he looks good for other positions moving forward. He's young in the game. He is not here to just do things his way. He's here to keep growing and get better. So I think he's in good hands. I think Kevin is a zombie. What's going on, Ivy League Mac? I think Shedeur is in good hands with Tommy Reese calling the plays when it gets there. It's 2 weeks, y'all. We got about 2 weeks, y'all. They're going to sack the mess out of DG. The Jets haven't forgot that it's still a game to be played. People in the Cleveland media act like it's no game to be played. The Jets coach is saying, hey, we know what they want to do. The book is out on Dillon Gabriel. When you can't attack multiple levels of the field, the book is out on you like that. They're like, we're just going to cut the field in half. He feels more comfortable doing everything left. He reads left and all those things. So we're just going to take that away. You see Reese working with Shedeur too. Yep. And also, one thing you got to think about is Shedeur looks the most comfortable. Shedeur looks the most comfortable interacting with Tommy Reese. That is a big thing. The play caller and the quarterback have to have a certain level of trust and understanding. and he looks the most comfortable interacting with Tommy Rees, I think that's only going to help. Is the active list published yet? It's not published. Today is Friday, so we will get that. We will get who participated today. We'll get that today, this afternoon. And then we won't know fully who's active until about an hour before kickoff. But you can go based on anybody who had full participation the last 2 days. Usually those are the guys that end up playing. Those are the ones who end up playing. Let's get to Zac Jackson. Now, I'm always the one.
Right? They finished 5.
I'm always the one who, let me get Beast's comment. Kevin is actually ruined Dillon's career after Dillon sat out on the bench and be a backup. Nobody going to want him. There you go. Devaluing him. The more you expose him, when you see it's not working, the more people are going to say, he can only go into certain systems. Look at a Tua. Nobody wants Tua because he got to go in a certain system. Look at Kyler Murray. Nobody's going to want Kyler Murray. These are all the quarterbacks who they compare Dillon Gabriel to. In that first preseason game, they look locked into, if it's not Musgrave, it's Reese around him. Facts. And then also, Musgrave won the Super Bowl with Coach Prime. They won the Super Bowl together, and Coach Prime was really big on getting Musgrave in so he can get a snap in the Super Bowl. So they go way back. He think he hurting Shedeur. Beast, I totally agree with you. He thinks by keeping Shedeur on the bench longer, it is helping Dillon and hurting Shedeur. It's actually doing the reverse. It's doing exactly what you said, Beast. It's hurting Dillon and it's helping Shedeur because they're putting the bar so low. Shedeur's going to wake up. I'm telling y'all, he's going to wake up, throw one good pass, and people are going to say, we should have been playing him the whole time. The defense know they got to win the game because they know Brucey is not going to get it done. I agree with that. I'm cautiously optimistic about Reese play calling. Stefanski still maintains veto rights after that nasty lineup and play calling from the Rams preseason game. I don't put anything past Stefanski. I agree, but I think Kevin Stefanski is going to do what he is known to do. When he doesn't get his way, he just washes his hands with it. So I think that's what he's going to do. I think he's going to wash his hands with it. I did think that was interesting that Tommy Rees was saying basically he has most of the responsibility. I thought that was an interesting choice of words. But we're going to let it play out and we're going to see how it goes. But that game against the Rams was nasty work. It was nasty work. He didn't give him no answers to the test. Zac Jackson, he started off a straight shooter this year. Then he started to say Shedeur wasn't ready. Then on his podcast, he's the one who put out there, the guy made up the story about Shedeur at the Shrine Bowl. Now he's saying Shedeur might be the answer for quarterback next year. So I'm just going to let y'all know. Before the season, I looked at him one way. As this season has played out, I'm starting to look at Zac Jackson a little bit differently because he also flows with the wind more than I've seen him do. And it's mainly with Shedeur. When he's talking about anybody else, he just call it what he see it. He kind of iffy when he's talking about Shedeur. But he changed his tune this week, and this is what he was saying.
500 that year, and they lost that last game at Baltimore, right? And then the next year they lost spectacularly after they had gone and traded the pick for Odell and spent all the money and said, now we're ready to play. And they didn't. These guys did win. They have been in the playoffs twice. But since then, they've won 5 games, right? And the offensive line is a disaster, and the wide receiving corps, and the list goes on and on. So they're trying to plant their flag on 4 draft picks from last year, and those all look like players. And like I said, the arrow's probably up on all of them. But even when you look at that, it's like, okay, well, where's the rest of the draft class? Nothing. Maybe Shedeur will be the starting quarterback a year from now. There's no sign of that, right? And what about all these other issues? How can you fix this offense? What about all these linemen being old? What about all these big contracts?
So he's not saying Shedeur could be good and that could be the reason why he could be the starter next year. He's just saying, oh, you got all these holes and the quarterbacks who are coming out this year don't look as good. So maybe Shedeur is being a starter. So even that, he kind of backstepped his way into it. He wasn't really saying it with his chest. So I agree with you, Zedric. You gotta side eye how he does and says things. What is that play too is Berea and Haslam are probably in his ear telling Kevin, no funny business this time. Totally agree. Totally agree with that. He can't be trusted. Yeah, that's why before the season, I was like, okay, he's a straight shooter because he shot it straight previously. Now I'm looking at him and it's that caution. Y'all know me. And my first thing is to have caution or paranoia. That's how I think. So Zac is in that box the same way with Sean King. I just put him in that box. You know what I'm saying? And I know some people didn't want to see me put Sean King in that box, but proceed with caution with Sean King. I'm proceeding with caution with Zac Jackson. C. Brown run, he can't be trusted. Yeah, you know, when you flip flop with no new information, I that's my red flags, my antennas go up. Zac was consistently anti-DG until he was named the starter. Now he's back hating on DG. You saw it. Ivy League saw it. Don't trust him. He's a flip flopper. Van, where the flip flops at? Van, get the flip flops for him. Yes, after Zac did that piece on Dillon's life, I was done. I subscribed from his podcast as well. He fall into that Sean category with other motives. Yeah, I agree with that. Just wishy-washy. Brent, I remember you saying Gruden before. Brent, tell me this. Which Gruden are you talking about? Are you saying Jay or are you saying John? I don't know about Jay. Maybe John. But John, man, selfishly, I really like what he's doing on YouTube. I really like with him breaking down the game. I really like his energy. I really like his him interviewing the quarterbacks pre-jab. So me selfishly, I like John doing what he's doing. Selfishly. And I wouldn't want Jay Gruden. So just let me know which of the Grudens you like. There you go, Van. You see it. John Gruden. See, okay, John, I like John too. That's why I said selfishly, I like what he's doing. I really enjoy it. Also, he got his lawsuit with the NFL, so we'll see how that plays into it. But y'all see how easy it is? If I have a reason that's more my bias or my selfishness, I would just tell y'all. What they do is they'll have a bias or they'll have a reason why they're saying something, and they just leave it vague or leave it in the air. So, Latika, what's going on? What's going on, Latika? The poll is basically what the main topic of the show is going to be about. It's going to be more about us breaking down what Leroy Hoard said, and we're going to really dive deep into breaking down everything he said. I think John is lazy. He doesn't watch film. He just talks. I don't watch him like when he's looking at teams. I know he does put some of that stuff out there. I like when he is breaking down coverages. I like when he's like, he just had something that came out. He's breaking down the play sheet. I like when he talks to quarterbacks pre-draft. I like those things. But I'm gonna have to check out Ivy League Mac. I'm gonna check out where I know he does like the preview of games on YouTube. I'm gonna watch one of those and see if it's good or bad. But I like his more teaching things. I knew when Kevin spoke out about DG over the bye week, media was about to flip. He washed his hands of DG too. Cedric, you always reading my rundown. That's Zac Jackson. Basically, he backed his way into saying Shedeur could be the starter next year. Let's clean this up so we can get to the reason why we're here. We're here around him. Hold on, calm down, Leroy. We're here to kill a gnat with a sledgehammer, and we're gonna break this thing down point by point. And we're gonna keep coming back to the video to make sure we do this the right way. You got it, Latika. That is him. Well, Ivy League, we got Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski is going to say, it's opportunities there. We got to make sure we take them when they're there. So it's not we got to do better. It's he got to be taking opportunities. So that, to me, that's as far moving off of him as he potentially could. Let's hear out Leroy. Yeah, this Latika, he was talking garbage.
And the excitement you felt in that one preseason game, you overlooked a few.
I'm with you, Maurice. See, G. Bush has a combination of things that he does. He talks to players. He watches film. He's in tune. He's in the streets. He's there. So if you notice, when people say they talk to people in the building, when G. Bush says he talked to people, when people say they talk to people in the building and G. Bush say he talked to players, if you notice, Jason always get quiet when G. Bush say that. Just pay attention to that. I got a question. What do knowing the X's and O's mean? If you're talking about a quarterback knowing the X's and O's, I would say it could mean knowing what everybody's supposed to do on the play on the offensive side, and then once you identify the defense, knowing where you could, how you could attack that defense. Let me take this back just a couple seconds on Leroy, so we can break this down. Cause he's just talking.
Which was one of the differences between him and Cam Ward, right? And being down here with Cam Ward, I saw that dude break like that. So I don't have a problem with that, but I would say this. Those guys are around him. And the excitement you felt in that one preseason game, you overlooked a few aspects of what he was doing, right? He never dropped back, planted his foot, and threw the football, which was one of the.
We're going to pause him right there because we're going to look at the tape right now and break down point by point. I'm talking about as a coach. X's and O's as a coach, I would say, is kind of the same, just being able to teach every player what their responsibility is, what their role is on that play, on said play. Let's get to it. I'm just going to say, I like G. Bush. I like G. Bush. I don't, y'all not going to hear me say I like a lot of these people, but G. Bush is one of the people I like. All right, let me get this pulled up. We're going to go to the game that he's talking about, preseason. We're going to go Cleveland, Carolina. We're going to go Shedeur. Give me a second to set this up, and I'm going to get it on the screen for y'all. We're going to go passing. We're going to go his completions. A lot of filters. Pause. We're only going to show the end zone. We're only going to show the end zone view of this. I think he knows he won't get more out of him, and he is discarding him. Could be. Dishonest and stuck on stupid. Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you there. All right, let me get this up for y'all. Instead of just talking about it. All right, we are looking at Shedeur's feet. The main point he made was Shedeur does not drop back. He does not drop back, plant his feet, and throw the ball. And he said he never did it in this game. That's the worst thing you could do is speak in absolutes and be wrong, because then we can pull back the film and show you. So let's go through it. We're going to go through 14 plays. We're going to hit 14 plays. This is the first play. I don't know. We're going to go play by play. Y'all tell me, is Shedeur dancing in the backfield? Is he not planting his feet, reading it, and throw it? Leroy Hoard, who paid you? Shedeur's prepared. Though Kevin doesn't prepare him, Shedeur prepares himself. Fumbles. Leroy, you had 35 fumbles during your tenure. Yeah, this is one of the most incoherent takes I've seen in a very long time. Most incoherent takes I've seen. So y'all tell me, I'll run the playback. Y'all tell me, is Shedeur getting to the top of his drop and letting the ball go? Y'all tell me. Let's go to the next one. One for one on foot placement. Ivy League, you seeing it. Was that a 3-step? Maurice, you seeing it. On fast throws, it's going to be 3-step. Intermediate throws, 5-step. Play action is going to be 7. You're not going to have your feet set. You're not going to have your feet set on a screenplay. You're baiting them, so you want to look kind of off balance. It's intentional on a screenplay, which that's what that was. Let's go to the next play. It's funny. I think I might have that. Let me see if I had that. Do I got Boosie here? No, let me see if I got Boosie. No, I got rid of my Boosie. Are y'all seeing this dancing and running around that he's talking about? I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. And this was so long ago. What people try to do is they spew the narrative and then they just try to let it float around like it's not happening. Let's go to the next play. Is he getting to the top of his drop and throwing the ball? I don't know. My light is changing over here. Let me update my light. That looks a little bit better. Don't seem like I'm sitting in the dark. So y'all seeing this. I just got to show y'all. And this is why I say we're going to kill a gnat with a sledgehammer. I'm going to show you the plays because what people do is they take something that happened a long time ago and they try to say that's the reason for this, as if the internet is not available to us. The internet is available. I didn't even plan on doing film today, y'all. But he was so egregious, I said I got to show y'all because I don't want y'all to just believe me blindly. I want you to believe what your eyes tell you. Around stuff he's talking about, or even what was he talking about? What was he talking about? Y'all, somebody help me. Somebody help me understand what this man was trying to say because it doesn't. And y'all tell me, what do your eyes tell you? What do your eyes tell you? Do your eyes agree or disagree with Leroy Hoard in the direction of where he wants to throw the ball? Are y'all seeing him bunny hopping around like we were seeing Dillon Gabriel? Are y'all seeing it? So when these guys get up here and talk, sometimes we got to go back. We just watched 14 plays. I just let it play through. We watched all 14 plays. All 14 plays. Y'all see it there. That's the list of plays. We watched all 14 plays play through. Where can we find anything similar to what Leroy Hoard is saying? Where can we find it? He only attempted 21 passes. I just played y'all 14 plays in a row. 14 plays straight. We can't find it. So the first question we asked about Leroy Hoard, did he get it right or did he get it wrong? We're going to have to say he got it wrong. Let's keep it going. Let's go, Leroy. What other mumbo jumbo you got to say?
The differences between him and Cam Ward, right? And being down here with Cam.
So we know that was wrong. Let me slow him down a little bit. 1.25, that's okay. That ain't too fast for y'all. I hope not.
Ward, I saw that dude put his foot on the ground at 3 or 5 step drop, get rid of the ball, throw it with timing and accuracy.
Who, Shedeur? You saw Shedeur do that, right? In the Carolina game that we just pulled the tape on, right? You just saw that, right? He's a veteran of the sport too, pontificating like these Disney ESPN analysts. Yes. DG equal happy feet. Facts. Bunny hopping all over the place. I think it's more egregious for somebody who actually played the game at a professional level to have such a lazy take and to be so out there. This shows just a total, to me, this is disrespectful to the game of football because people are going to use your words. They're going to write articles based on him saying this, and this couldn't be further from the truth. This is egregious. This is terrible. This is bad. I have no positive things to say about what Leroy Hoard did here. That's why we're breaking it down point by point. Point by point.
We never really saw that out of Shedeur. So that's a skill set that
we just watched it, y'all. Has he watched Cam Ward this year? I've watched Cam Ward tape. What did I tell y'all when I was watching Cam Ward tape? BF from Ohio told me, hey, break down Cam Ward tape too when you break down the other quarterbacks. I said, okay. I started watching Cam Ward's tape every week. I was watching his tape, and everything he's saying Shedeur needs to do that Shedeur's never done, we saw that in Shedeur's first preseason game, mind you, with no reps. So that was based on his skill and his ability. I watched Cam Ward. I'm not knocking Cam Ward, but everything is a struggle for the Tennessee Titans right now on offense. Everything is a struggle. He clearly doesn't watch the tape. And do y'all remember Coach Prime said, I got time today? Every once in a while, it's a day. I'm not working a whole bunch of hours, moving around a lot, and I got time. And I had time to break everything down of what he was saying, and he just wrong. He's just wrong. He is so wrong, it makes you question if somebody put him up to doing it. That's how wrong he is. Do you know what's funny? Cam himself will say he's lying. Facts. Facts. It was just, this thing was so egregious. It was so egregious. Let's keep it moving.
That he has to pick up on, right? We watch him in that preseason game. It was a lot of scrambling, running around, throwing the ball on the run, making plays.
Okay. I just showed y'all 14 plays. I just let him play. I didn't edit him. I didn't stop. Y'all didn't see me moving around. Y'all didn't see me doing none of those things. I just showed y'all 14 plays in a row. How many plays did y'all see Shedeur take off scrambling? How many plays did y'all see Shedeur scramble? I don't know what this guy is talking about. I wish G. Bush would have pushed back a little when Leroy was lying on UCSS. I agree. I wish he would have pushed back a little bit more on these points. This part of it, I wish he would have pushed back more. Cam relies on his arm a lot. Shedeur is a technician. I think if roles were reversed, you see Titans differently. Facts. That's facts, Cedric. Oh, yeah, he got paid to spill salad. Leroy is in a group of people who think Shedeur is overrated, and his commentary reflects this. I agree with that. C. Brown, you agree as well. So it's just these situations where it's like, you're not making no sense. It's so bad that we got to say, we got to assume somebody paid you to say this because that's how off base it is. Super off base.
As a quarterback, as a coach, watching that's not something you can rely on week to week.
Okay. I'm going to stop this a lot. So just be prepared for me to stop this a lot. If anybody was coaching a team who watched the Cleveland Browns, and this is not before the season. He just said this 2 days ago. You've watched Dillon Gabriel. We've been breaking down Dillon Gabriel on third downs on Wednesdays. Wednesdays, we break down Dillon Gabriel's third downs. He's the current starter. Do you want what you see from Dillon Gabriel, or do you want what I just showed you from Shedeur? Which one can you work with? Because Leroy Hoard just said what Shedeur did in this game, a coach cannot work with. He said that out of his own mouth. He said that. If a coach can't work with that, fire the coach. Fire the coach. Can you rely on Dillon week to week? That's the question to be asked. G. Bush got there. And it was, what you say, Van? He had the salad spilling out both sides of his neck all over the place. Made a whole mess in that room. It was bad.
So those skills and that skill has to be developed. The other thing is you.
How are you developing a skill that he showed you he had on a short week notice when he actually got to play? Watch G. Bush's body language when he's with these guys. He is definitely struggling. Yeah, he trying to let them get their stuff off. I appreciate these channels that bring receipts and push back on the lies about Shedeur. Sit back, nephew. We got your back. Facts. And if this was just like a YouTuber saying this stuff, I wouldn't even break it down this way. I am breaking it down this way because this is a player who played in the NFL and he gets paid off his name from playing in the NFL, and people are under the assumption that he has a higher level of understanding, and that's why we got to break it down like this. Sometimes people credibility will be attacked based on the things that they say. We are attacking Leroy Hoard's credibility when he is speaking on this subject. That's what we are doing.
You think Kevin Stefanski don't want to win? For people to think he got something against Shedeur, that man want to win.
Yep.
How many times have we heard you don't think he want to win? We already proved to you earlier, teams will do things in spite of winning. We've heard players come out and say this. This is the script that the NFL gave them, that the way they go to this script, they always go to this script. Instead of just saying this could be incompetence or this could be sabotage or at least they're not performing, they go to, you don't think he want to win? Come on, man. Do the Jets want to win trading two of their best players? Do we got to go through this? They always end up in the same spot. Noticing that the closer we're getting to Shedeur starting, the worse takes are getting. Yeah, they're getting crazy. Egregious. G. Bush has a difficult situation sometimes if he doesn't check everybody every time. I give him a pass. He has to push back on 3 to 4 people all the time. You got a point there, Shanithia. unless it's a show, Bull, surprisingly, which I agree with Bull not that often, but Bull is the one who's actually willing to hear G. Bush out. Jay Crawford is not willing to hear him out. Jason Lloyd will hear him out and just deflect. Some of the people that call in just don't make sense. So he in a tough spot, and this is not his production. You know, if this was G. Bush's show, I think he would definitely push back more than he can in this setting. So that's why I say I like G. Bush. That's a tough spot to be in. A tough spot to be in. Ross Tucker last week, Leroy this week. Facts.
Trying to keep his job. They're all trying to win. And you got a responsibility to the other 52 men on that roster to play the guy that gives you the best chance to win. Because
I'm going to stop you right there, Leroy. Does Dillon Gabriel give the Browns the best chance to win? Does anybody believe that? Now, before the season, everybody said it because they said we believe the Browns. Now that you don't believe the Browns, does Dillon Gabriel give the Browns the best chance to win? Would we be having this conversation if Dillon Gabriel gave the Browns the best chance to win? What you're saying makes no sense. It's incoherent. If Dillon Gabriel gave the Browns the best chance to win, nobody would be looking for Shedeur to play. Nobody will be looking for Shedeur to play. Dillon Gabriel has full control over if Shedeur plays this year. If Dillon Gabriel balls out from week to week and consistently gets better, Shedeur won't see the field. Dillon Gabriel is not doing that, so that's why the questions are here. He is rated the worst quarterback in the league. He throws the ball the shortest distance out of all quarterbacks. His EPA is the worst. Statistically, he's the worst quarterback in the league. Stop saying he gives them the best chance to win. You are insulting our intelligence by you even saying that. It's ridiculous.
Because if you don't, then you lose the other 52. And that's kind of how that goes. So,
does it seem like Kevin Stefanski has the other 52? When we look at Myles Garrett slamming his helmet, when we look at him saying something got to change, he's willing to help the offense or whoever he needs to help to get better, does that sound like a team that fully believes and supports their coach? Leroy, what are you saying? What are you talking about? You're just talking.
Well, whereas I want to see Shedeur develop because I think the skills that we saw and his ability to make plays will be an advantage for him. But he has to start with the basics.
I'm going to let him say these basics because it don't make sense.
What gets you on the field is being able to do the basic stuff. What keeps you on the field is your ability to make plays. But if you can't get through that first process, you're not going to get to use your skills on the second.
Okay. What gets you on the field is your ability to do the basics. The basics. Can Shedeur call the plays in the huddle? We saw him do that for 2 games. We saw him get guys lined up. We didn't see him taking a lot of pre-snap penalties. We did not see illegal procedures like people are lined up in the wrong spot. We did not see them getting a whole lot of delayed games. So that's the basics. He's still not getting in there. What you are trying to do is, this is the biggest mistake that these guys make. They're trying to justify why Kevin Stefanski will not play Shedeur and put it on Shedeur like it's anything Shedeur can be doing differently to get a chance to play. That's the biggest mistake and the biggest flaw in what they're trying to do. It's nothing Shedeur can do. Kevin Stefanski don't want to play him now. That's just what it is. It don't make sense. Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, Dillon Gabriel, all have been considered the best option. Where has that gotten us? Nowhere. Leroy sounds hurt. Did Deion steal his girl back in the day? He's always talked crazy about Shedeur. He might have. You lost at least half the team right now. Facts. Did you notice on the radio station this morning, they're talking about how they're on the brink of losing the team, but Leroy doesn't seem to believe that. I no longer care to hear from Leroy Hoard sounding like he'll get a job for talking negative about Shedeur. It's a lane that he's trying to dive into. Dang, my bot got you, Latika. What happened? They said the same thing about Joe, and you see they sat his ass down. Just saying. Leroy is definitely trying to use the fact that he covers the Browns through UCSS as an opportunity to get more talking engagements and opportunities. You can see it. That's what he's doing for sure. Steam Lab said, "Don't be talking about Joe Flacco." The bot tripping as always. Let's play him.
Well, Leroy, I will say this. I've always said.
Now, this is where G. Bush is going to take it from Shedeur. Shedeur is not even the starting quarterback. He gave that whole opening monologue to say his reasons and lies why Shedeur is not playing. G. Bush is going to take it to the actual quarterback, and it's going to get worse.
I think there's, from the time we started talking about Shedeur Sanders, or whatever the case may be, I've always made the point of Dillon Gabriel's skill set is what's going to keep him on the field. Dillon Gabriel has to go out and perform. So if Dillon is not performing, I can say Shedeur's not ready or whatever he's at, but Dillon Gabriel's performance and how he looks is going to be what's the referendum's on. I got to look and see what Dillon is doing, how he's moving, how is he progressing, because I got to look at it in a vacuum and say if Dillon Gabriel is regressing, then as a coach, I have to at some point say, okay, well, if this ain't gonna work, we got to see what we got.
Absolutely. But what part of that? See, you're evaluating his.
That quickly, he's going to pivot from Dillon Gabriel because G. Bush just boxed him in the corner. G. Bush said this. "You triggered my trap card." He put him in the corner. Okay, let's talk about the starting quarterback who is getting worse every single week. Worse every single week. After this Sunday, potentially, Dillon Gabriel's PFF grades from the game might look exactly like Shedeur's grades from the Rams game. He has the potential to. So at that point, the same reason why they said he wasn't ready, is that going to be the reason why we say we got to get rid of Dillon Gabriel? Just asking the question. He don't want to talk about Dillon Gabriel because Dillon Gabriel, nobody can defend him.
His play. The coach is evaluating his play through the prism of the whole offense and what he should have been doing versus what he is doing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So is he throwing it to the right guys? Is he making the right reads? Is he, getting them in the right plays? Things like that. If all those things are good, then I can understand him sticking with him, even though the production doesn't look great.
Okay. What he said there didn't make too much sense. He said, y'all heard him. I ain't gonna repeat it. It was whatever. But now let's see if what he's saying is true. If DG is doing everything the coaches are asking him and he's putting the ball in the right places and all these things, let's ask the coaches. And the lazy part of this is this happened.
Struggles at times.
This happened prior to Leroy going on there saying this. So that's why a lot of what he's doing is lazy, because Kevin Stefanski said this 6 days ago. What you got to say, Kevin?
Times in a game, could be a quarter, whatever it is. And obviously you hope with these young guys that they're all continuing to get better. And I know the quarterback position gets magnified in that discussion as well. But you're trying to just stack days. You're trying to stack games on top of each other. And I think there's been some really good moments. I think there's things that we can do better around him. And again, I put that on me and the coaches and certainly his teammates where we can support him. And then when it's there, we got to trust that he'll let it rip and we'll come away with that play that we're just not making at this moment in that game.
So Leroy said if he's doing what the coaches want him to do and he's putting the ball where they want it, then you wouldn't question it, right? Well, Kevin Stefanski said it took him a long time to get there. He had salad popping out of everywhere, making a mess in the room. But once he finished making that mess, he said Dillon Gabriel has to capitalize when the opportunity is there. So that goes against what you're saying, Leroy. Remember Tommy Reese had this to say?
You got to put him in the right spots to, see the coverage, trust what he's seeing, let it go. That starts with us as coaches. We got to put him in the right positions. We got to put him in the right positions during the week to make sure he has confidence in those plays. And then, he's throughout camp, throughout the preseason, he was not trigger shy on that stuff. I still don't think he is. We just got to give him the right looks and make sure that we're preparing him to trust those things and see him and let him go.
Okay, Leroy, let's get back to you. So, as much as Stefanski don't never say nothing, all that word salad he did, eventually he got to he's not getting the ball where he wanted to go. Tommy Reese not getting the ball where he wanted to go. Gun shy. Everybody said it. Everybody said it, Leroy. That's why this is so lazy. And you had the answers to all these questions that you tried to lean on. All of them were there before you got up here and start spewing this nonsense. All of this was here. These are not new things. This is so lazy. they should think about letting him just talk and say all this trash for so long. It's just trash. It's garbage.
And so it's much deeper than, oh, look, the team's losing, the quarterback's not good. Let's see what the other guy has.
It is much deeper than that. And we just went and we looked up and we found all the answers. And the answers are the quarterback is not doing what he's supposed to do.
It's much deeper than that. And so from that standpoint, and I've been a part of that. All right. How many people, when Bill Belichick said he wanted to get rid of Bernie, how many people hated Bill Belichick?
Woo, I remember that.
You see what I'm saying? But here's the other thing. As much as the players love Bernie, right? And I was a ride or die Bernie guy. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all know my relationship with him, right? How many players came out and said anything?
I don't believe any, but I was
the whole skill set of the position instead of just the making the play aspect, because we've all seen guys who can make plays and run around or whatever, but at some point you got to plant your foot in the ground and throw the ball in a timely manner.
How will that? I don't see a path to that working here with him, because they're going to take another one next year, and that's the point I've sort of been making all year. Is I don't know where the path lies for Shedeur.
All right, Sean. I even put it on 1.5. I can't listen to these guys no more. I thought there was one more point where G. Bush was actually saying something where he asked another question. Let's see. I think G. Bush gonna hit him with a question here.
But don't you have to do that by playing?
Here we go.
A lot of stuff that plays into it, not just the quarterback making throws. Now, one of the things that Shedeur has to learn, right? Got to learn how to read defenses. Got to learn when defenses are fooling him. That's why you know what they say about young quarterbacks, you can trick them. You can line up in one coverage, run a different coverage, and you can get them, right? Why? Repetition. You ain't used to seeing it. An old veteran to see you line up in the defense, look on the other side of the ball and say, there's no way in hell they're going to run that defense. I know what defense they run it, and operate accordingly when the ball snaps.
But don't you have to do that by playing? Don't you have to?
Yes and no. The film study, the other work that you do off the field gets you into that mind frame to look for those things, right? If they're not comfortable that he's able to do that, right? How you expect him to be able to do it in a game?
He don't even know what he's talking about.
Well,
he's just talking.
I get it. Like the Browns, the thing that people have a problem with is you got a 2-16. You got a 2-16. You got a quarterback who's playing right now, who people don't believe is better than the guy who's sitting behind him. Now, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because they drafted him in the 3rd round. They drafted him. That's their guy. They're going to give him every opportunity. But at some point, people are going to say, okay, listen, I get it. You're going to give him a runway to play. He played. He is not looking good. And at the same time, we got in the back of our mind that we already about to go get another quarterback. So at some point, you have to say, if you drafted a guy and you drafted 2 quarterbacks this year, the problem what we have is we took those quarterbacks. If they didn't like them, they drafted those quarterbacks. They could have took those pieces and got a lineman, got a receiver, the same stuff that we say we need. So if you're going to take those pieces, that said that you kind of like them and you wanted to see. The owner said, I want to see what he looks like. But one thing that is hard for me to think and envision is that if I see the quarterback that's playing right now, that's a lot of people didn't think was ready, that's making mistakes, I'm ready to see the other dude make the mistakes, because at the end of the day, the Cleveland Browns need to get a lottery ticket. We just expressed it, right? Deshaun Watson costs a lot of money. Deshaun Watson costs you a lot of picks. If I got a guy that could be a lottery ticket, I'm going to just scratch the ticket and see. If you scratch it, he don't look good, then you can move on and find whatever quarterback you got in 27, 26, whatever the case is. That's the premise that I come at it with, because right now, we seeing. I'm playing the patient game. But at some point, the patience wear out.
But isn't that giving you an indication of where he is?
It's not. You're making this up. You're making this up. That's enough. We did everything we could do with that. Leroy Hoard, do better. Do better. You got a name. You played in the NFL. For you to come here and just spew all this nonsense is just ridiculous. Is borderline exhausting just sitting here and listening to you, because the things you say don't make sense. You say, he went on to say he hasn't spoke to anyone in the Browns. He's just, this is what he's came to because this is how football works. And it's like, so does football also work where a guy's a 3rd round pick and get treated like a 1st round pick and gets multiple opportunities? Or is it only how football works when you speak on Shedeur? That was shameful analysis. Yeah, it was terrible. It was hard to watch. It got to the point I'm like, man, I can't even listen to this no more. If you think Deion didn't teach Shedeur defenses, he's tripping. Deion said instead of partying, he was studying plays. Shedeur's ready. I agree. He's a run-on sentence. Remember English class. Maurice, facts. Anyone who said Shedeur has to learn to read defenses straight up on Kevin Stefanski script. Facts. it got hard to listen to towards the end. These folks will be mad when they don't draft the QB next year. Facts. Because it's only two. It's two of them. And I was watching some stuff where Todd McShay, I don't watch his stuff for analysis. I watch when he said, I was talking to scouts. This is what scouts are hearing. Scouts are hearing Lenore Sellers going back to school. Dante Moore's going back to school. John Mateer might be going back to school. So in reality, it might just be two guys at the top of the draft. It might be Fernando Mendoza and Ty Simpson coming out. If those are the only two to come out, the Browns got to win more games, and you got other teams that want to lose who can end up with higher draft pick than you. So it's just the script is changing. It is just baffling. Why are they all in on giving grace to Dillon, but no grace to Shedeur? It's atrocious. Yeah, it's probably one of the most annoying parts of it that they don't even want to speak on Dillon Gabriel, who is actively playing right now. That's the most crazy part about it. He is playing. He is the starter. He is the one lining up. And they spend 30 seconds talking about Dillon Gabriel, and he spent 17 minutes talking about Shedeur and guessing on why he thinks Shedeur isn't playing. It's like, come on, man. Just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. I haven't seen anybody this bad. I'm going to show y'all. I wasn't even going to add this, but the last person I saw this bad on UCSS, let me bring it up for y'all real quick. And this person ain't been on UCSS since. Where is it at? Let me find it. It was when Rob Parker was on UCSS. Dang, I know that was the last time we had somebody on there who was this bad.
Nikki, we're going to bring in Rob Parker here in 1 second.
And y'all notice Rob Parker ain't been back since he made this terrible appearance on UCSS. Probably why they spawned and are saying 27 is the year now. Yeah, they switched it up. You saw that last week. Todd McShay, the alcoholic. Yeah, that's why I say Todd McShay, I don't listen to his analysis. He did have some insider information saying these guys are going back to school, which they're guys who I already said should go back to school once I really start watching them play. Yeah, Leroy talked crazy. They have some Armstrong William types over there. Yeah. I haven't seen anybody as bad as this right here.
He's coming out of the draft.
I'm not a football scout, so I'm
Hold on. I want y'all to hear how G. Bush said it. I had it on Chipmunk Mojo. I listen to everything super fast. So this is the last time I heard somebody this bad. Let's get the G. Bush question.
Back playing on the field. What is his skill set? What do you think? What is your opinion on him as strictly in between the lines at Colorado when he's coming out of the draft?
Shanithia, you funny.
I'm not a football scout, so I'm always going to that I don't scout talent. I look at highlights and I look at people. I don't know what his footwork is and all that other stuff. So I'm always that guy because I don't play football at that level. But I think his hype was bigger than his game. He beat only one ranked.
He's just gonna repeat the list of all the same things. Todd McShay was one of the people. He actually not was. Let me say it right. Todd McShay was the first person who was putting out the bad things on Shedeur. That's why I say the analysis stuff, I don't go to him for that. He was talking to scouts, which college guys are going back. I'm like, okay. But anything else, I don't go to Todd McShay for. Because you're correct. I was breaking it down real time. He was the very first person that said that. I'm showing y'all how bad it was. This is the worst of the worst. This is the worst of the worst. Now I gotta ask y'all a question. Who speaks on any other athlete the way they speak on Shedeur? Who else? This dude said, I don't watch Shedeur, but he's speaking on and projecting how Shedeur gonna do. I clipped this up. I spoke on this months ago. You know what people told me? People told me because Rob Parker is on TV and radio, he knows more than me. That's what people said when I said, how can you listen to a person that said, I don't watch these people? I was like, so if you don't watch them, how can we listen to them about what they say? And people said he knows more than me because he's on TV. I said, okay, I ain't even going to argue with you. Yeah, I don't believe that, Raul. I don't believe that. I bet Cleveland going to draft another QB next year. I don't know if they're going to get the opportunity to. I don't know if they're going to get the opportunity to. But I'm showing y'all that Leroy's interview was the worst I've seen on UCSS since they had Rob Parker. Rob Parker has not been back on there. So hopefully they go a while and, you know what I'm saying, Leroy, they don't put him back on there either, because we watched these guys just kill Shedeur, and everything they said about Shedeur was wrong. Everything. So hopefully they give Leroy the Rob Parker treatment. But Zedric, you caught it. You saw how quick it was that he said, I don't watch him, but we supposed to listen to you talk on him? Come on, man. If y'all ask me about a player or a quarterback that I don't watch, y'all never hear me saying, I know about this person I didn't watch. It's insane. It's ludicrous. It's crazy. I speak on things that I watch and I do research on. These guys, for whatever reason, their issues with Coach Prime, their issues with Shedeur, you see it spewing out whenever they speak. That's Rob Parker. That is Rob Parker. The second worst person I've seen on UCSS speaking about Shedeur. Let me double check and make sure we don't have any breaking news before we wrap this thing up. This has been another great episode. Leroy Hoard talking crazy. He can't substantiate anything.
I can't say.
Whoops. Oh, hey, be quiet, y'all. Be quiet. Leroy Hoard can't substantiate anything to be true that he's speaking on Shedeur. He's talking out the side of his neck, making a mess in the room. Wonder what that conversation was after Leroy went away. Let's pull it up. When I saw Leroy Hoard speaking, I knew, I was like, man, I can't even get through this. Let's see. How many days ago was that? That was Wednesday. All right, here we go. I'm going to pull it up to as soon as Leroy gets off the screen, and let's see what they say. He was talking for a minute. I think they had him on there about half an hour. This is the end of it right here, so I'm going to pull it up for you. This is the end of it.
Way out of this until that contract is done.
Yep.
Leroy, we started with Deshaun. We wrapped Deshaun. That's the most full circle conversation we've ever had with him, in all honesty. So we appreciate you, Leroy. We'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
Thank you.
All right, man. See you.
Appreciate you.
Awesome. That was
All right.
Leroy Hoard. And we got to talk a little hoops, but first to read.
Yeah, guys, before we get to basketball, I want to remind everybody.
They kind of just switched it up and went to basketball. They didn't even stay on the topic. They just moved on. Jason Lloyd felt validated because of what he said. But just to me, that was just a disaster. Things don't have to be true to get traction these days. Man, oh man. Maurice. Talk to him. That is so true. If y'all notice, one thing I always call out is, you got to wait for G. Bush to be at the barbershop for him to say something about that. I always call out people that speak on things that aren't quantifiable because it's just in a land of make-believe. So I just call it a lie because that's the best way to lie. All the lies about Shedeur have not been substantiated with anything proven. He can't get them lined up. It was proven. He has to do the basics. What are these basics that you speak of? Nobody can elaborate. He can't say the play. Aditi saying he playing street ball. Leroy Hoard saying he running all over the place. Y'all saw the plays. Was he running all over the place? Was his footwork bad? I showed y'all. It's right there. So they just get up and they lie, and the lie spreads super fast. The lie spreads super fast. So I see the lies and I just look at it and I'm like, if Leroy Hoard was another YouTuber, I wouldn't have went in on it like that. But since he has a name from being in the NFL, we got to kill a net with a sledgehammer and break down everything he said because so much of it, all of it was wrong. When you need a Tim Scott, call Rob Parker. Yeah, Rob Parker, man, I used to use some of his radio clips from my show. I don't even use it no more because at this point it would be bullying if I was just using his clips. Certain people, it's like, man, I'm just bullying. You want to hear something funny, Raul? I was watching Tom Brady's first start versus the Indianapolis Colts versus Peyton Manning. You know what Peyton Manning did in that game? He ran back just like Shedeur did. He ran back just like he did. So this is the mistake that people make. People think because you think Shedeur is going to be better than Dillon Gabriel, you think Shedeur is perfect. Nobody is saying Shedeur is perfect. Nobody's saying he's not. Nobody's saying he's perfect. We're just saying he's better than the guy who's out there. And what people never do is they never say Dillon Gabriel is doing this, and this better than Shedeur. They just bring up the Rams game or they bring up him running backwards, which we've seen so many other people doing that. Those six sacks were breathtaking. DG on the ground. Facts versus Pittsburgh Steelers. Him getting the safety and the touchdown, throwing the ball to nobody and pointing that error. So people want you to jump to their side. Oh, I know that's Faru. I know that, Marie. I know who that was for. People want you to jump to their side because you believe in Shedeur. And I think the root of why people feel this way, keep going. You're not going far enough. Maurice, you're not going far enough. The root cause of this is people are mad that people are riding with Shedeur so hard. That is the root cause of all of this. That's the root cause. So when I look at comments, the comments that people send who are against Shedeur, they say, well, what are people going to say? What are people going to say? Call it Shedeur. Shedeur is a franchise QB, so I guess I'm saying Lizzo is Ethiopian. I would agree with that statement. He's going to prove it to you. They say, well, what if Shedeur doesn't do well? If Shedeur doesn't do well, he will face adversity just like anybody else is facing in the NFL, and he has the opportunity to get better or let it break him. I believe he'll get better, and that's the answer. People don't like that that's the answer. That's what they don't like. That's what they don't like. They don't like that you'll ride with Shedeur even if he has a bad game. That's what they don't like. They want you to change how you view Shedeur, and they want you to turn on Shedeur. That's what they want. That's what they want to see. And when you don't do that, they try every single angle. They lie. They bring up one play and act like we don't have all these games on Dillon Gabriel. They act like Shedeur is the best coach. And then when you keep moving forward, eventually they just fade off. Because the reality is they probably just need a hug. They just need a hug and some attention. That's all. They just need a little love, and they don't like Shedeur getting the love. So that's what it is. Lie all day, go home, sleep sound, reprobate minds. Facts. That's what they do. That's what they do. Y'all see it. Hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let's take these guys off the screen. Let's take them off the screen. Oh, shucks. Let's go here.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Y'all know what it is. Anytime I take people off the screen. Hey, Raul, they going to be on your neck. Hey, they going to be on your neck. They gonna be on your neck, and I ain't gonna stop them. I'm still waiting on that Canelo knockout. Facts. Where we going? Here we go. We gotta clap it up. Shanithia coming in, hitting the PayPal. Love your show. You deserve all the success. I really appreciate it. You've been riding me for a while, showing your support, being active here, and I greatly appreciate you, Shanithia. She did this. So I can do this.
I got money.
And then also I got this one for you.
Broncos country, let's ride.
So everybody,
Broncos country, let's ride.
please put Shanithia in the chat. Everybody put Shanithia in the chat. Shanithia is the sponsor of today's show. Please put Shanithia in the chat, everybody. That's what it is, Marie. Marie, you know what it is. They just need a hug and some attention. And they think the easiest way to get a hug and attention is to go to a space and talk badly about another person to get their attention. So that's what it is. That's what it is. Dillon Gabriel, if y'all notice, Dillon Gabriel been playing so bad for so long, y'all haven't seen nobody coming in here saying nothing about Shedeur. Now you see him coming back as soon as you push back on people making up lies about Shedeur. So it's been real. It's been great. Shout out to y'all for all y'all support and us hitting the first milestone of getting accepted into the YouTube Partner Program. If you weren't here early, let's throw this up on the screen for you. I received this message. I got this message this morning when I logged into YouTube. I'm now a YouTube partner. I wouldn't have been able to do that without you all. I greatly appreciate you all for everything that you've done, all your support, always showing up, tapping in, tuning in to the shows and being here. So moving forward, I got a couple things I got to do on the back end. I wasn't able to do it before the show, but I'm going to get it set. So I'll be able to accept super chats and everything else. I'm going to do everything I need to do as soon as I wrap up the stream, but I would not be able to do it without y'all. And I greatly appreciate y'all being here with me and everything that y'all do. We're going to keep growing this thing, keep hitting the milestones. And we got a game to watch on Sunday because now it's back to football. It's not about these stories and these narratives that they want to sell. It's back to what happens on the field, and that's where it all starts. So I appreciate y'all. It's been real. Marie, I'm going to work on it. I'm going to set it up. As soon as I end this thing, I'm going to work on it. Marie, you put him in a corner of timeout. Hey, if you're a mod, and the show is going, and you have a wrench, and you see something, that's your power. Your power is to determine if we should let this ride or if not. So if you have a wrench, I want you to use it as you see fit. That's why you have it. So, hey, if y'all see something y'all don't like, let them know. I want to see that Super Chat ready on Sunday for Sunday's show. Hopefully they get it right for me. Peace, Britt. Shout out to you for being here. Just 10 seconds so we can think about it. You know, you got to go stand in the corner. Remember we was growing up and they said go stand in the corner for a minute, your head all up on the wall. You just stand there looking. Put them on timeout for a second. Hey, I need you to think about what you did. So I appreciate y'all. Clap it up again for yourselves. Sunday, we're live. 10 minutes before kickoff. 12:50. Charmaine, what's going on? Hold on, y'all. Charmaine wasn't here earlier. If you were here, I didn't see you. But Charmaine, you were also one of the top supporters. So I made something for y'all because I appreciate y'all. So I just want to say thank you to all the top supporters. Y'all supported. Y'all were top supporters for the month of October. And then I'm going to do it the first Friday of the next month. Make sure you get the recognition for y'all being here. Y'all supported me monetarily. So I appreciate y'all for that. It's been real. I will see y'all on Sunday. Enjoy your Friday. Watching football on Saturday. Colorado pulled me back in because Juju going to be starting. So we might even talk about that a little bit on Sunday. So let's get it. Enjoy y'all weekend. It's been real. I appreciate y'all. Peace.